Yesterday, we woke up on the sounds of things breaking in the household, and we did not really know what it was because it was really dangerous to stand up and just go around the house to check what's happened. And the thing is, we're really struggling at the moment to get water, to get food. We don't have cooking gas anymore, which is like impossible to get at the moment. So we really just try to cook on wood and, sometimes whatever we got, trash, cartoon boxes, whatever we got. So um, I think it's kind of shocking where I once was and where I am now.
And when it comes to cooking food, I mean, what kind of food do you have access to? And water, is that available?
Yeah, so about food, not everything is available. And even if some things are available, like canned goods, they're really pricey at the moment because anything is very rare to find. If you go to the market, you won't find anything. So you need to look around in like the smallest markets in the city to get what you need, from rice to pasta to anything that can be eaten, actually. And about water, so what we do is every week we get about like 2 to 3 gallons for the whole family. And here's the thing, the water is contaminated, and I can see stuff on the surface, but we have to use it anyways. Rather than that, how would we survive? The border will open for a couple of aid, for a couple of trucks holding aid for us to come in. And here's the thing, well, after those 4 days, the killing will continue. The genocide committed against my people will continue. So who is this aid to if people are still dying? And for me and my family, especially that the weather is really, really getting cold, and we have really not much of winter clothes. I mean, we only like have these kind of jackets. So not being able to go back to the south, to the north, or to the city, go to my house, get some stuff. So I really don't think that this humanitarian pause is really doing anything except just making us more exhausted and more drained when thinking about the fact that, well, nothing really changed. I mean, yes, the airstrikes will stop, but what else changed? We still have very limited access to food and water. We still can't move around because it's still risky. I mean, Israel has a long history of breaking those deals and the humanitarian pauses. Also, those humanitarian aid trucks that will enter will eventually go to hospitals and people in schools because those are the ones in real need. So it'll even be harder for us to get anything from the aid that is really coming in.
Do you think the aid coming in, though, will be enough?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, I don't know. I think they were talking about like 300 trucks a day, and here we're 2 million people. So, and especially that in this situation, there's like so much more demand, and with so much lack of goods. So I think that in this very situation, especially when talking about medical supplies, we need more than the average that used to enter Gaza before this aggression. So like right now, this is not enough at all.
Can we talk about what your life was like before this happened? I believe you were entering medical school.
Yes, I only got to be 10 days in medical school. I used actually to love my life because here in Gaza, the people were known to really love life. We used to go to some fancy restaurants, go on the beach, meet our friends. And even though we only had like 8 hours of electricity, we still had some lack of water. But I mean, at this point, at this moment, my life back then seems like a huge privilege. I mean, we still had a life, you know, we still had friends, we had fancy places that we used to go to, we still went shopping, and then suddenly everything is gone. My college is gone. The streets of my city are gone. The beaches are gone. My favorite places are gone. And at this point, I just start to think about, well, I mean, I really, really love Gaza, and I loved how my life was in Gaza. But it's the feeling of, well, what's left? What's left of this life? You know, we always used to say that people are gonna rebuild the city. During every war, we said that. But this time, well, if that many people are being killed, then who's gonna stay alive to rebuild the city?
I imagine it's very tough. I imagine that you're just living day to day at the moment.
Yes, we have really no plans for the future because we don't know if we're gonna survive today. Like, for example, I was we tried to laugh about some stuff. Well, some stuff that are really our trauma point. We were laughing about how we evacuated in the middle of the night, and I fear that this might be the last memory of me and my family. And here's the thing, for example, we sleep in the same room because we say, well, if we die, then it's better for us all to die together rather than someone would stay alive and mourn who's left. And here's the thing, you know, with all that happening, the world is still finding this a military operation against a militant group. While I think it's obvious that it's just against us civilians, unarmed civilians, because people are being killed, people are being displaced, we are being starved, we are being starved to death. And if we're not going to die of starvation or of the airstrikes, we're going to die of coldness due to the weather, or maybe dehydration because we have really not much water to drink. And the world still finds that hard to understand, that Israel is committing war crimes, and they're not being held accountable for that.
Tia Alqudwa, we really appreciate you sharing your story. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you for having me.